Yes, thank you very much for the insightful speech, Professor Medisch-Kabel. So next, we will have the founder of the Founding Club Germany and the chairperson of the board from the Cambridge Bridge Association, Ms. Lili Poharian, to come forward and speak about the Azerbaijan-Armenia conflict and why it's a region that needs much attention from civil society around the world. It's a conflict that many people don't know about or not too aware of, so I'm very glad that today we can learn more about it. So please welcome Ms. Poharian with a very warm round of applause.
Greetings everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to speak in this event. Straight after the 2020 war in Nagorno-Karabakh, I started an initiative with a handful of young Armenian women in Germany to address the human rights issues resulting from the war, to support the search and rescue of the missing people, over 300 Armenian prisoners of war that weren't repatriated in the agreed exchange of all prisoners of war, awareness about the war crimes, torture and extrajudicial killings of dozens of Armenian POWs. The Teopano Club Germany is a grassroots movement that raises awareness about what's happening in the South Caucasus and engages with NGOs and the German government on the various issues impacting the region. The name was inspired by the Holy Roman Empire, Teopano, who was of Armenian and Byzantine Greek descent. The Teopano Club Germany to date has organized demonstrations in Berlin and other cities of Germany, written to human rights organizations and to politicians, launched petitions regarding the above-mentioned humanitarian issues, and later also raised awareness about the repeated military aggressions by Azerbaijan against the remaining regions of Artsakh and the Republic of Armenia. Some of you may not be familiar with the region's history and why the war erupted in 2020. So I'd like to share a brief history of the region and the conflict. From 330 BC, Nagorno-Karabakh, then called Artsakh, was a region in the Atlantic Armenia. One of the first mentions of the Armenian toponym Artsakh is in the Iranian Avesta with the meaning land of the winds. The historical province of Artsakh consisted of a mountainous part and a plain part, which corresponds to the, you can see better here, areas of the Kura River basin. The latter, together with another Armenian province, Utik, above Artsakh, was referred to by the Persians as the White Garden, Bakh-e-Sepid, and the mountainous part of Artsakh they called Black Garden, in Persian Bakh-e-Siyah. Its direct translation into Turkish is the term Karabakh, which was used for the region from the 18th century. Since the first millennium BC till our days, throughout history, Artsakh region was populated predominantly by Armenians, and the language spoken there was Armenian, also in the periods when the region fell under foreign rule. The valley part of Artsakh region was ethnically cleansed from the Armenians about 200 years ago through wars and attacks by irregular Muslim groups, including my own family. Only the less accessible, less vulnerable mountainous part of Artsakh preserved its majority Armenian population, despite a few massacres by Muslim mob in Shushi and Atzvar, that until the war in 2020. As a result of the Fifth Russo-Persian War, Persia ceded much of its Transcaucasian territory, including Artsakh, to the Russian Empire in 1828. During the Tsarist rule, the Russian authorities provocated several massacres by Muslim Caucasian Tatars against their Armenian neighbors around the South Caucasus, which included big cities of Baku, Tiflis, Shushi. The Soviet rule in the region was established in 1920, region meaning the whole South Caucasus, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Armenia. In 1921, Artsakh and another Armenian region, Nakhichevan, were transferred to Azerbaijani SSR by Stalin's decision, but with the preservation of the Armenian autonomy in Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Oblast within Azerbaijan SSR. Azerbaijan SSR, as other Soviet Union republics, were not a sovereign state and were not subjects of international law, but merely an internal administrative and territorial unit of USSR. Nakhichevan versus Artsakh. Before the two historic Armenian regions were transferred to Azerbaijani SSR by the Soviet authorities, in Nakhichevan, the 41% of the population were Armenian. However, no data is available on Azerbaijani population as the nation was not born back then. But there were 29 different nomadic ethnic groups, most of them Muslims, in the region, and then later they were assimilated into Azerbaijani nation during the Soviet period. As well as there was a significant share of Iranian and Turkish population. Unlike the multi-ethnic Nakhichevan, Artsakh was a mono-ethnic back then, with the Armenian population making up 91% of the population. By the rest were small Iranian Caucasian ethnic groups and Caucasian Tatars, who later were renamed in Soviet Union to Azerbaijanis. By the end of the Soviet rule in 1991, only 1.4% of Nakhichevan's populations were Armenians, and in Artsakh their share was reduced to 76%. While Nakhichevan Autonomous Republic preserved its territory as it was passed to us SSR, only its local government ethnically cleansed the Armenian population throughout the Soviet period and after the Soviet Union collapse. The NKO lost about half its territory in 1930s, when Azerbaijani SSR took a big eastern half of NKO and established Red Kurdistan Autonomous Oblast, corresponding to Kelbajar and Lachin districts of current Azerbaijan. Then fully dissolved into us SSR without any autonomy, thus artificially cutting NKO from the mainland Armenia and making it an enclave inside us SSR. Smaller border regions of NKO have been administratively cut from it and given to bordering us SSR districts. Azerbaijan systematically destroyed all ancient and medieval Armenian cultural heritage under their control, including UNESCO site in Nakhichevan, Jufa, Khachkar, between crosstowns in Armenia that were over 10,000 unique medieval carved tombstones and hundreds of churches. The Miatsun reunification movement. Following an impactful reunification movement in NKO and ARM SSR, on February 20, 1988, the extraordinary session of the Council of People's Deputies' 20th Convention of NKO passed the decision to appeal the Supreme Council of USSR and Azerbaijan SSR, the Armenian SSR, to demonstrate the sense of deep understanding of the aspirations of the Armenian population of the Nagorno-Karabakh and resolve the question on transferring NKO from Azerbaijani SSR to the Armenian SSR. It was accompanied with massive demonstrations of Armenians in NKO and ARM SSR. In response to people's wanting to reunify with ARM SSR, from 1988 to 1991, several massacres and pogroms of Armenian population, back then about 500,000, were committed in the big cities of Azerbaijani SSR, Sumgait, Kirovabad, Baku, etc. As a result of these massacres, several hundreds were killed, 150,000 Armenians fled us SSR, leaving all their belongings, land, and houses. Fearing responsive pogroms of Azeris in ARM SSR that never happened, almost all of the 220,000 Azerbaijani population in ARM SSR sold their property and moved to Azerbaijani SSR. On December 10, 1991, according to the Soviet Union Constitution, NKO organized a referendum on independence. 109,000 citizens, or 82% of the total number of registered voters, took part in the referendum, and 99.8% of them voted for the independence. The Azeri minority of the NKO mainly boycotted the referendum. As a reaction to Artsakh Declaration of Independence, in early 1992, the newly independent Azerbaijan started a full-scale war against the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic and NKR that lasted 4 years. in which the Armenian side could not only defend the NKR but also capture the adjacent regions that as SSR had separated from NKR during the Soviet years, and most crucially the two newly created Azerbaijani districts that separated the mainland Armenia from NKR. The war's total toll was 30,000 killed. 1994 to 2020, the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict was a frozen conflict with relative peace. From 2005 on, the high oil and gas revenues, Azerbaijan could continuously increase its military budget so that for many years it exceeded the entire state budget of Armenia, heavily arming itself in preparation for new wars. Not having energy resources and under economic embargo by Turkey and Azerbaijan, Armenia could not keep up with the arms race. The Four-Day War. On April 2, 2016, Azerbaijan started a full-scale war against NKR, which was halted after 2 days by pressure from OSCE, Minsk Group co-chair countries. The war toll was about 350, resulting in minimal territorial gains for Azerbaijan. The 44-Day War. In September 2020, Azerbaijan launched a blitzkrieg against Artsakh, attacking the whole perimeter of the contact line with the support of Turkish military and about 6,000 mercenaries brought mainly from Syria. A ceasefire was brokered by Russia on November 9, 2020. Each side claimed about 4,000 killed in the war. The Syrian Observatory of Human Rights reported 541 Syrian mercenaries died fighting for Azerbaijan. During the 2020 war and following attacks, Azerbaijani armed forces committed hundreds of war crimes, ISIS-style execution of POWs and civilian captives, making videos of this and posting them in social media as a further act of terror against the Armenian people. The lack of international interest, response, and condemnation of the war unleashed and the War Crime Committee by a dictatorship eventually led to the war in Ukraine. Disinterest and impunity emboldens the authoritarian regimes for further aggressions of war and human rights violations. Thus, the South Caucasus region has an immediate need of attention and participation in conflict resolution from the international community. The current state. In May 2021, in November 2021 and September 2022, Azerbaijan launched military attacks against the Republic of Armenia and till date occupies over 160 square kilometers of sovereign Armenian territory gained through each military operation. It is also illegally holding about 130 Armenian POWs and civilian captives 2 years after the ceasefire. After significant military and territorial gains by Azerbaijan in the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war, the conflict turned into Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict in the territories of the Republic of Armenia. The ceasefire is fragile and often violated, while Azerbaijan's president Ilham Aliyev keeps threatening a new war in his public speeches. Hatred towards Armenians and Armenophobia has been used by the Aliyev regime as a nation-building idea and to suppress social protest against the regime inside the country. A new generation has grown up without having direct contact with the people on the other side of the conflict. Azerbaijan being an authoritative state and close to any ethnic Armenians to enter, there is a little opportunity for contacts between these two nations' civil societies. The international NGOs and civil society play an important role in bridging the differences between the people in conflict situation and can act as a natural platform for dialogue between the sides. The role of civil society is vital to help to solve the century-long Azerbaijani-Armenian ethnic conflict. Over the recent years, we have many examples of civil society successfully taking peace-building functions all around the world. We all gather together here can help to bring the success to the troubled South Caucasus region to prevent further wars. Thank you for your attention.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Koharian, for your speech about this very important topic, so we could get more insight into this conflict and also see more about the horrors of this war. But like Ms. Koharian mentioned, we all need to contribute to the prevention of wars, and so we as HWPL would also like to provide a space for dialogue between Azerbaijan and Armenia and to contribute for peace in the South-Caucasus region. We already conveyed another dialogue for peace within the Philippines. We are also going to hear more about this just in a second.